that angle, then we will be focusing on gains that will be important for us. And so John Gugi, I'm told, is online. John Gugi, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Uko salama?
Niko salama kabisa.
Siasa za Bangu, siasa za Mount Kenya, siasa za nchi nzima kwa jumla. Unazionaje?
Nashukuru kwa kunipea hii nafasi.
And you can still do English comfortably, whichever is
It's
fine.
okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. So I can turn all the languages, yeah? Okay, thanks to you for giving me this chance to debate on Mount Kenya politics. But as per where we are right now, we are able to see things are taking shape. From the big fish, from the people we didn't expect, they are in the ballot. But as much we can say, so much is being sold. There is a truth in politics. There is propaganda in politics. But the voter is now given a chance, can be able to view out most of the issues he is being addressed. Right now, we are not saying much. As you can see, the economy is not that good. Even the politics that is being done is not like the area politics we did in some years to come. So there is so much of looking at the leaders that we are going to choose this time around, having in mind that we had a regime that maybe we had so much of ambitions to be done from that regime. So much of heartbreaking in terms of service delivery, in terms of our health sectors, in terms of the education sector. So we are looking on so much. Where are we going to put our vote so that we can get the best of the leaders we want?
Mm-hmm. Well, amazing. And speaking of the best of leaders, Kiambu County is one that has lots of contenders that are pretty much strong. What are your expectations for this one, and especially when it comes to dividing of the votes? It looks like it's really going to be a heavy one for those ones that are great contenders.
Yes, because as we look at the Kiambu County, we have all the contenders. Yeah. There are people who have been in politics for so long, having in mind that Kiambu was affected in the last year's elections because we had impeachment of the former governor. So in terms of the incumbents, he didn't have a lot of the time for delivery. So we are looking at the contenders as you look at Jango, Matangi. You can look at Kabogo, is there. You can look at Latondo South MP, Moses Kuria. So those are big fish who are going to garner votes in terms of, we are going to have divisions in terms of the constituencies. Like you look at Latondo South and Latondo North, you can maybe expect Kuria to garner votes from that end. You can look at Thika constituency and the larger environs of Thika constituencies. You look at Django, we're going to garner votes from there. So the votes will be regionalized, not like the other time we had votes that were overall votes. So we expect so much of small amount of votes win. So we don't expect that the excellent out of it that we would want in terms of the winning. But all in all, we are looking at someone who will be able to take care of the county issues in terms of a manager, that is. And most of all, the best candidate will take the day, even if it's a win is about a vote also.
Well, let's extend it a bit to the national outlook and the coming in of these other contenders, the clearing of the candidates that is Right Honorable Raila Odinga, Deputy President William Ruto, David Mwaure, who would be said to hail from this particular region of the mountain, as well as Luchiri George Wajakoya. The Wajakoya factor, and I know you have had this euphoria and the momentum that comes along with what it is that he presents to the people. What do you make of it? And do you suppose he's one person that the country needs to look, at and I mean, probably find necessary adjustments because it's likely to take us to a runoff?
A runoff is taking shape each day, and each day we are learning. Because if we can look at the Kenya Kwanza slogan that was used on the bottom up slogan, Wajakoya getting in there is taking a lot of votes that were supposed to be maybe garnered by the Kenya Kwanza system. When you look at the Raila Odinga system, we look at someone who is being forced with some powers from the current government that is there. So the subdivision of votes that's coming all along is that most of the votes from the young people that maybe are now supporting the Wajakoya factor. If we look at that, we see a runoff taking shape.
All right. Well, John Gogi, thank you so much for speaking to us. I know there's still so much that we could have touched on. I'd really love to understand why this euphoria and excitement from the young people. Does it speak to the fact that there's really the consumption of marijuana in the country to an extent that we probably could be ignoring, or what exactly the point is? But I will let go of you for a moment. In a bit, I will be getting a hold of another caller who we're trying to get a hold of. And remember, the lines are open as well. The numbers running down on your screen for you to be part and parcel of this conversation. It's all about the politics of the day. We have about less than 2 months to the general election, and therefore it's very important that we constantly have this conversation, that we just get to, enlighten each other, remind each other of the past, because history is what dictates where we are headed as a nation. And so listening to some of these historic stories that we get, and historic gains that have been made by different leaders, then it helps us hugely in making that decision. And Joram J from Banana is online. Joram J, thank you so much for creating time. I want for us to pick it up from that conversation of Wajakoya. And John, the previous caller, speaks of the fact that the young ones are really joining into this movement and momentum of accepting a possibility of Jakoya being the 5th president of the Republic of Kenya. What do you make of this aspect, and does it speak volumes of the fact that really our young ones are so much deeply engraved into taking or consumption of marijuana?
The issue with Wajakoya, my thinking is the issue is not bank. He just used that as a vessel. The issue is change. Young people are seeing Wajakoya as a change. You see, we used to elect two people in an election, two familiar faces. From when people were young to when people are old, these are the same names we've been hearing in the political arena. What Wajakoya brings, he brings change. The youth of this country have been always viewed as rough people, people who smoke bangi, people who are just unruly. Wajakoya represents them. They feel that our Wajakoya presidency is more reflective of the youth of this country. If you see the rallies he's going to, or the people who are saying they're supporting Wajakoya, these are people who they are genuinely saying they're supporting him because of no other reason. They're saying this guy, bang is being smoked everywhere nowadays. We want this guy because he shows us the real picture on the ground. They also say Wajakoya is not a person we are used to. That if you people keep us telling us about change, but it's the same people. So if it's change, why not Wajakoya? And you see, he's going to reggae concerts. He's going places and telling people the things that politicians are afraid to talk about. The two leading candidates right now, they can't go to public and talk about legalizing marijuana, snake farming. They will not. That is a topic that their competitor will use against them. Wajakoya does not care. And that reflects the youth of this country. They feel they do not care anymore. If it's change, let's change with this one. And you will be very shocked. Wajakoya will get a very good number. Not enough probably to make him president because there's a reserve. Like, for example, my mom will not vote for Wajakoya. She's used to seeing drunk young people. She's like yesterday, I had a woman say, if alcohol is legal and guys are drinking to this extent, what if weed becomes legal? Imagine this young person also having smoked weed. So, yes, Wajakoya will get a number, but not a very big number.
Right. Well, amazing. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Joram. Because of the question of time, I guess I will pick that conversation and take it to the next caller in line, and whom I'm being told is on standby. It's just about the 2022 general election, the 4 presidential candidates that we have, what it is that they are presenting to the people. And now that Joram says it is that change that the youngsters have been yearning for, I mean, out with the old and, in in with a new. The question is, this new that is being presented to us, is it good enough to steer the country to a better level, to a better position that is economically, socially, and the fabric that we really have once lost? Are we able to revive this glory, what it is that our forefathers fought for? Do we have John Okech? All right, I am being told that the caller trying to get a hold of us is John Okech, a bit of a hitch, but he is here, thankfully. John Okech, asante sana for calling in. And as we speak about the momentum that is being brought on board by Wajackoyah, do you suppose that what he sells to us is a question of change that is valid to bring a difference that we all have been looking forward to? Because you see, we all cannot just be excited of change when the change itself is not valid, when the change itself is not one that is going to bring us or to give us a progressive nation. Do you think this talk of marijuana, and I am sure you probably have had a chance to listen to him, it's hugely not on the question of smoking, but the question of industrialization and the revamping of the economy. Is this the change that Kenyans have been yearning for?
Thank you again, Linda, for this opportunity and for hosting me. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you 100%.
Yeah. The Wajackoyah fact is an interesting fact. However, I don't think Wajackoyah will have any impetus on the general election in itself. Because when you look at the people that Wajackoyah is trying to win, are these young people. These young people, many of them, I doubt they have voters cards. The matter they do is sit for, what do they call it, for days, and discuss non-existent politics. So for me, the Wajackoyah factor does not really have any bearing on this election. Yes.
Okay, well, that's amazing. A general outlook of the politics of the day, and especially when it comes to the leadership and these questions of, the education levels and whether they've cleared education, whether they've cleared school at this very point. Is this a conversation that we should be having, especially now that you hail from Nairobi and we look at this dicey situation in the gubernatorial position as we close?
Yeah. The educational factor with the general elections, the way I look at it, most politicians have been caught flat-footed, because when you look at it, most of them assume that they would be able to change the laws to suit them, but unfortunately enough, they haven't managed, or rather they didn't manage to beat that crowd, whereby I believe most of them thought it will just be as long as that you are 18, you are of sound mind, you'll be eligible to run. The likes of Akina Sudi, look at our governor aspirant, Mr. Sakaja. Mr. Sakaja, who, if you look closely or if you even go on social media and look at video clips that are there, he himself is saying after completing his high school, he never left the country to go and pursue any other educational interests. So you find yourself and ask yourself, these degrees that we are hearing, this chap got from Uganda, which Uganda did he get them?
All right, thank you so much as well. Time is not so much on our side, but we are grateful that we could speak to you, John Okech, as well as John Gugi and Joram J, and not forgetting Dixon, who was calling us from Kisii County. Gentlemen, it was an honor hearing from you, and we'll keep doing this every other day of the week, because it's important that we as the people then weigh in to the political situation that is happening in the country. That then helps us make decisive decisions, or better said, make decisions that will be based on ideology and would guarantee us change once we get the next crop of leadership into power. So we close it at this